What's up, guys? This is Genetic Minority bringing you another Monday Night Raw review for the night of October 5th, 2015. Just gonna try to make this short, sweet, to the point, like I always say I'm gonna do, and then I'll end up ranting and raving. This is actually the second time I've tried to record this because I keep getting caught up in a rant. Raw opens up. My voice. I'm losing my voice because once again, this is the second time I've tried to review this. Raw opens up with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes out to talk, and that's it because it's Paul Heyman. He talks, and Brock Lesnar's there to look intimidating. He's basically saying Brock Lesnar's going to beat The Undertaker, embarrass him like he beat him and embarrassed him at Mania. They get interrupted by the Big Show, who wants to shake Brock's hand out of respect, and Brock says no. Like, Brock just knows him, nopes him, walks away. Big Show insults him, says he hopes he loses to The Undertaker, and then Brock just beats him up. Like nothing. He belly suplexes him once, picks him up, F5s him like he doesn't matter. Why? Why is Big Show such a nothing? Why is Big Show on the show if he's going to be such a nothing? Why? Because he's a big nothing, and that makes him look intimidating? Big Show is one of the few characters, one of many characters, in WWE who, he's one of the few characters where everything he does will hurt him if it's... Everything he does in WWE hurts him because they made him so weak to the point of no return. They have this constant Big Show switching his heel to face, this heel to face switch constantly, you know, which I believe he's on the Jericho podcast where he's just like, when I walk into the arena, I don't know if I'm going to be a heel or a face. So everything he does hurts his character, especially when you have him coming off of running his mouth about Brock, only to get beat up easily at a live show, or at least a live stream, I guess you could say. Then he just gets beat up by Brock tonight on Raw. I'm scratching my arm. And you have him beating... The only person he's beat in the time since leading up to this feud, I believe, is Mark Henry. Like, he's... Yeah, I believe he's only beat... he beat Mark Henry. Nope, Cesaro beat him. I believe the only person he's beaten is Mark Henry, another older guy, who's a big dude, but almost anything he does hurts him, and they have nothing for him. So, somebody please, God, just take Big Show into the yard and shoot him like Old Yeller, or give the guy a backstage job, alright? Because, you know what? I like the Big Show, but he needs to retire simply because WWE has nothing for him to do. I mean, he can keep wrestling because he keeps making money. Obviously, I'm not opposed to that. If he wants to keep wrestling, he can keep making money. If it was me, I'd keep making money. But in terms of as a fan, he should just go to a backstage role, or accept a spot in the WWE Hall of Fame, or go to TNA where he can be champion at least. You know, where they're gonna use him. Yeah, because WWE's not going to use him. They just let him get beat up by Brock, and he's going to come out next week or the week after that, or he's going to take like a month off because it appears as though he has something going on with his right knee because he has the brace on, which he hasn't worn knee braces since like 2012, I think. So for some time, 2012, 2013. So and he's just going to come back and be losing again. So why just nip it in the butt right now, just cut the head off the dog, or, you know, just forget it. Just give him a backstage role, cut him a nice little check, let him be about his way, you know. Next, we got the Wyatt family versus Randy Orton, the Idiot Fringe, Dean Ambrose, and Mr. Cockfist, the man who cocks his fist, Roman Reigns. The match is nothing but a big brawl. That's it. Everyone just brawls on the inside and outside of the ring. But at the end of the match, that's all. That's all. It's just a knockdown, drag-out brawl for most of the match. Like, you know, if the people aren't in the match, they're outside the ring fighting. Which I get from a kind of, you know, we've reached this breaking point in our feud storyline standpoint. But, like, Randy Orton just got into this. And it's not like you have... It's just meant to just be brawling because it's brawling, you know. You have three faces who are brawlers and the Wyatts who are supposed to just go around attacking people. So yeah, it's whatever. But the end of the match saw Roman Reigns pinning Luke Harper off a spear. Obviously, you can't have Roman pin Braun Strowman because you need him to keep looking strong, and you can't have him pin Bray because that'll make Bray look weak going into their match at Hell in a Cell. But contrary to popular belief, yes, getting Luke Harper pinned does not help the Wyatt family at all. Here's the problem with this feud. At no point in time did it ever feel like Roman Reigns was shaken by the mental manipulation of Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's entire character is he's creepy, he's come in, he's gonna mess with your head, get in your mind, psych you out, beat you, which will psych you out even more, and then when you come back for revenge, you're doubting yourself. You say you want revenge, but you're really doubting yourself. At no point in time, 0 point in time has this happened with Roman. We had the little bit at the beginning where Bray was like holding pictures of his daughter, of Roman Reigns' daughter, and threatening to do some Law and Order SVU stuff to her. But that went nowhere. And then that maybe could have been a thing that got into Roman's head, but no, they didn't go with that. And then all this stuff is just trying to intimidate him, but it's from Reigns, so his character can't be intimidated, but he can at least be psyched out. If he's just all brawn, and you have a character like Bray Wyatt, who's brawn, and he has a Braun Strowman, but he's also more mental manipulation. Roman doesn't seem like the kind of person who thinks things out. Like he's not like a Seth Rollins or a Seth Rollins type, or Randy Orton, who would think things like try to be one step ahead. He's the kind of character, the way his character is built, is to just go and try to fight you and not overthink things. He's just, I'm going out looking for a fight. Bray Wyatt is the type of character that's like, I gotta weigh you down mentally, then beat you down physically. And this is where this feud is failing from a psychological standpoint and from the character standpoint. And this is what hurts the characters, especially Bray Wyatt, because he's not doing any of the things that his character should be doing, but then still acting like he did. And you have Roman, who's no-selling the mental manipulation of Bray, which hurts Bray. And you have Roman, and you have all these bits where, like last week, where Bray Wyatt beat Roman down, tackled him through the barricade and was standing tall on top of the table. Raw could have ended like that. Just Bray standing tall, heel gets over on the face because heel, especially a Bray Wyatt character, mentally manipulated him into the situation. No. We gotta have the face stuff going on. We gotta send the crowd home happy with the good guys always win. This the reason why everyone hates Superman, because he's a good guy who always wins. The reason why people hate Cena, and WWE just doesn't get it, Roman has to spear Bray through the table. Why? Couldn't you have saved that for Hell in a Cell, when he could just spear him through a table during the match, and then that just be a cool feel-good moment for fans at a pay-per-view? No, you gotta have everyone go home happy and see something cool on the night of Raw. Whatever. It's just like everything WWE does. Everything is just completely ass backwards. But whatever. Roman Reigns gets his feel-good moment, and he tells Bray he's gonna meet him at Hell in a Cell. Next, we get Neville versus Sheamus, and Burger King Barrett is at ringside on the commentary table. Sheamus beats Neville in like 30 seconds off the distraction by Barrett, who is supposed to be doing some I'm trying to help Neville because he's a fellow Britishman gimmick. I don't know what his gimmick is. I don't care, because Burger King Barrett is a waste of space and a waste of time. They need to fire him too, because he's not doing anything. WWE needs to revamp his character or fire him, or not even fire him. Just let him go, because they're wasting him. They waste so many guys. If you're just gonna constantly rely on the same guys, why even give these dudes a chance? Dump them, send them down to NXT. If I were a professional wrestler, it was recently an interview where Finn Balor was going to get called up to the main roster, and he decided to stay down at NXT because he thought what they were doing down there was revolutionary and innovative, and he wanted to be a part of it. If I were part of the main roster, I'd be trying to get down to NXT ASAP. I don't think Samoa Joe's ever going to come up to the main roster. He has no reason to. He stay down at NXT, maybe get an NXT title out of it. There's no reason for Samoa Joe to come up to the main roster and freaking be degraded down to like every other main roster character. Next, we get Kane comes down to the ring, and he says he's going to be Seth's partner tonight. There was a backstage segment with Seth where he's talking about facing the Dudleys 2-on-1. Kane says he'll be Seth's partner. Steph comes out to make a mediocre segment even more mediocre with a slightly higher pitch and says that Seth and Kane are teaming up tonight, and that Kane, Demon Kane, because apparently there's a difference now. It's like a Joseph Park, it's like there's an alter ego thing, Joseph Park and Abyss thing, where Corporate Kane will be fired from Director of Operations if she doesn't even say the monster, even though they've been calling him she says the monster, even though they've been calling him the demon. If Demon Kane loses to Seth, and so that's a thing. Sorry, what's on my screen right now is really dumb, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. Next, we get Natty versus Paige. Natalya Neidhart versus Paige. Natty makes Paige tap out, and my question is, why? I get that the other set of divas that are quote-unquote part of this quote-unquote divas revolution were busy, but on the flip side of it is, why? Why is Paige tapping out to Natty? I understand that Natty needs a win. I understand that you can have an opportunity now to have a Paige and Natty feud, or at least a couple Paige and Natty matches. Probably a feud. Because... Sorry, I had to take a sip of my liquid beverage. Because you gotta push this Charlotte versus Nikki stuff. But why is Paige tapping out to people? Like, they had her tapping out to Sasha Banks, and then they haven't done anything with Sasha Banks. And then now they got Paige, she's tapping out to Natty. Now, why couldn't Natty face Alicia Fox? Why couldn't Natty face Tamina and beat one of those two? Or why couldn't Natty face Becky Lynch, who is also a submission wrestler? You have Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks. These three young girls who have submission finishers. You could have Natty beat one of them, or beat Becky Lynch by making her tap and paint it up on the commentary table, if the commentary table was any good, that, the fact of the matter is that Natty is a wily veteran. She's been doing this for a while, former Divas champion, and she used her veteran know-how to get over on Becky Lynch. I mean, with the other, you could use that for all three of them, but it would use to save a little bit of face for Becky Lynch. You could just have Natty stated backstage, or Charlotte stated backstage, or Ric Flair stated backstage. Somebody just say, hey, Natty's been doing this for a while, man. She comes from a submission family. She's a submission specialist. This was just an opportunity for you to work the kinks out of your own moveset. Something, you could have saved face with her. But they didn't do that. Instead, they decided to just have her go up against Paige, and then her make Paige tap, which, two things. One, why? Two, why do I want to see another match between these two if you decide to make this a feud? So what if Paige attacks her and they have another match again? So what if Paige wins that match? So what if they have another match after that and wins this feud? It's like, I don't care now. Natty made Paige tap out. The only way Paige can get her revenge is if she not only beats Natty in another match they have, but then in the last one makes her tap out, and then just continues to make her tap out. But she can't do that to Natty because you need to build Natty slightly, because you haven't been building her at all. You see where this gets dumb. If you had just stuck Natty in a match against a diva who doesn't matter, and with one of the segments that we got tonight, they definitely could have stuck. There was a Summer Rae segment that was just completely pointless and stupid. There served to piss the crowd off and prove why WWE last week had the lowest ratings they've had since 1997, and the lowest ratings they had on the 3-hour Raw since the inception of the 3-hour Raw. Or that was the lowest last hour they've had since they made 3-hour Raws. But that was the lowest ratings they've had since 1997. Almost 20 years. Is that 18 years? 18 years. It's the lowest ratings they had in 18 years. 1997. Something to that effect of like 18 years. Whatever. I don't know what to say. Just Natty and Paige it was just dumb, and it was dumb the way it ended. Next, we got Sin Cara versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens wins. Next, we got Cena, and he's coming out to pander for Susan G. Coleman because we got to raise awareness for breast cancer, and what better way to do it than to have Roman Reigns and John Cena talk about how great it is to help fight breast cancer. And WWE, I don't even know if they donated money. I think the last time I remember hearing about them donating money, they donated $1 million like 2 years ago. I don't know if they do it every year, but I think we're all neglecting the fact that Vince McMahon the McMahon family spent $100 million on 2 failed elections. Almost. It was specifically $97 million, approximately $97 million on 2 failed elections from Linda McMahon, his wife, who you never see on TV anymore because she is the reason why they tried to like bury the Attitude Era and all the other stuff they do in the past, because part of the reason was because of their sponsors, but the other one was to save face for Linda's elections. And then but of course Cena comes out to pander for Susan G. Coleman, so I guess he uses pandering powers for something good. Whatever. Next, we get Rollins and Kane versus the Dudleys. It's important for the match that I actually go into further detail. The match is going Kane and Seth's way until Seth gets thrown into Kane. Like what the hell is that move? I can never remember the name of it. It's that weird like. It's I don't even know. He gets flung into Kane, who's on the ring apron, who falls down and quote unquote hurts his leg, which leaves Seth solo, and he gets taken down by the Dudleys, who don't pin him. The match is still fully in effect. They decide they want to put Seth through a table for some reason, even though they have an opportunity to win the match. I know why, but even though they have an opportunity to win the match, they decide that they want to put Seth through a table instead of winning the match. The match isn't over, and it's not like Kane got hurt and then they opened up an opportunity to put Seth through a table. They just want to do it. They don't care about getting disqualified. They don't care about him getting disqualified or anything like that. They just want to put Seth through a table for some reason because he's Seth. But when they go to pull it, they both, for whatever reason, go outside the ring. They grab the table, and Seth drop kicks the table into their faces. So not only were they stupid enough to try to get themselves disqualified, now Seth has drop kicked the table into their faces, which causes the disqualification. And Michael Cole commentary goes, "Well, that's because the table got involved now." Why? Because he kicked the table? How come nobody ever gets disqualified when a dude swings on them in a match? Like, we see outside interference in the match. The person swings on them, and then they miss, and then they never get a hit off on that person. The person winds up knocking them out of the ring. Never get a disqualification. That's like straight up interference. A guy got in the middle of a match and possibly changed the result, or almost he tried to assault someone, failed, and then got bumped out of the ring. But Seth kicks the table into their face after they were the ones that were trying to get it. Disqualification. Whatever. Hashtag WWE logic. But Seth does. He gets a DQ. Then, of course, Demon Kane comes out, who apparently has the superhuman ability to heal himself, or he's invulnerable, like Hayden Panettiere from Heroes, the cheerleader. I don't know. Just the strongest character in WWE. I mean, he has the ability to just heal a broken leg because he's Kane, or the powers of hell. I don't know. Maybe Paul Bearer gave him that power. But so yeah, Demon Kane comes out, but he winds up getting hit with a 3D by the Dudleys because he did attack the Dudleys on SmackDown, but because it happened on SmackDown means it didn't happen, so it just looks like they attacked Kane for no reason. You could argue if you were going to make some reason up in your head is because they have history with Kane, but whatever. Sorry, I bumped the mic there with my finger, if you heard that. So I'm currently getting text as I'm recording. But Seth sees Kane knocked out, and is about to be able to walk away scot-free because he's not going to get put through a table, and he saves face by getting himself disqualified from a match. It makes no sense, but whatever, because you can't have the tag team champs beat him, even though it's a situation that would have made perfect sense that a veteran tag team, beat a single person, and that person being a young guy, but whatever. You have a chance for something to make sense and to be able to turn things around in a different way, but instead you have Seth getting cocky and deciding, okay, I want to put Kane through this table, which how is he going to do that? But instead he winds up getting chokeslammed through the table. He gets caught boasting and then gets chokeslammed through the table. So that's a thing that happened. It's just so dumb. Next we get a little thing shown, like a thing from earlier that night with the Bellas coming out of a limo, and then Team Bad coming out of the limo, and then they bump into each other and they start to fight a little bit because once again they're in New England, Boston, I believe. We have to get Team Bad versus Team Bella because Sasha Banks is from Boston. To make a long story short, Sasha made Alicia Fox tap out, but she also made Nikki tap out on SmackDown, which obviously because it happened on SmackDown, it didn't happen. But the only reason why Team Bad is on TV is for two reasons. One, it's Boston, so you need Sasha Banks to get some love, which she did, which is great. And two, people have been complaining, where's Team Bad in this whole Divas Revolution? But whatever. God, this match featured just Brie needs to stay away from the ring. Brie needs to not wrestle anymore. Everything she does is terrible. She tries to do Daniel Bryan's moves and she sucks at it. She botched up in this match a bunch. She was supposed to take there's a spot where she was supposed to Naomi's supposed to run, the bit where they try to run to their corner but they get stopped halfway through and get taken down and dragged to the other corner, and she botched that. Her and Naomi, well, granted Naomi's got some meat on her bones, but I mean she's not fat or anything like that, and Brie is so freaking weak and crappy at being a wrestler. She couldn't hit her. She somehow managed to fail just a simple takedown. She failed a takedown. I mean, she's starting to be as Eva Marie bad, and she just makes me sick. But yeah, long story short, Sasha Banks got the submission win over Alicia Fox to help the Bellas save face. She should have just got it over Brie, because who cares? And of course, this is another moment in time where, just like on SmackDown, Sasha went crazy beast mode and just starts attacking everybody. So that's a thing. Next, we get Summer Rae proposing to Rusev. Rusev says he won't marry her until he wins a title. So I don't know what that means. They're building towards something. I don't care. It was Summer Rae doing it. It was just a stupid montage of them with a pink filter on it, and it was just irritating. It's just completely disgusting and annoying to look at because I hate Summer. I hate the Summer Rae the Summer Rae Rusev thing. I hate that they're wasting Rusev. I hate Summer Rae and Summer Rae's face. And her nose, and her weird tan, kind of leatherish skin. She looks like a Wendigo. If anyone's played, never mind. I actually won't spoil that. One of those weird, creepy, mythological creatures that live underground and are blind and all that. She looks like, and that's just probably just because I hate her. But whatever. And the fact that she's tied to Rusev, who I think they're wasting. And then finally, we get the Open Cena Stroke Fest. The Open U.S. Title Challenge. And Cena's challenge is met by New Day, but it's not met by New Day normally. This is a very interesting ending to Raw. New Day comes out to face, or to send a challenger to Cena, and they're holding Dolph Ziggler's music plays. New Day comes out holding a beat down Dolph Ziggler. And Xavier says, what was that you were saying about last week? Cena told him to get serious, or there's a time to be serious and then there's a time to have fun. This is, yada yada yada, which is something, it's ironic because Cena doesn't know what those two things are because he's constantly out there laughing and taking his opponents lightly, but whatever, we're not gonna, it's only wrong if someone else does it, not if Cena does it. So they got Dolph Ziggler's limp carcass out there, and they're saying they're taking it serious, and it's a big match against a big opponent with a big chance to do big things. They're gonna put Big E in the match, and so we get Big E versus Cena, and this is surprising because it's not surprising because it ends the same way you expect it to end. But during most of the match, Big E is wailing on Cena, and he's even dumping Cena on his head with a couple suplexes, and it was interesting. But of course, because it's a Cena match, this is the only time New Day ever gets uh, ejected from ringside. So, Xavier and Kofi are doing their thing on the outside of the ring, doing distractions, playing trombone, having a good time, and they get ejected from ringside. But of course, the end of this match saw Big E try to bash Cena over the head with the trombone, and I really wasn't paying attention. I think they tried to use the trombone and tried to hit Cena, but I really don't care because it doesn't really matter to the whole. But Cena beats Big E off 1AA, and immediately starts getting beat down by the entire New Day crew because Xavier and Kofi, who haven't even left yet, they're not even up the ramp yet by the time Cena pins Big E. So they beat Cena down, but they're met by Dolph Ziggler comes in for the save. I hurt Dolph Ziggler, who goes for a super kick and accidentally kicks Cena, knocks him out clean, flat. Which is cool because it means, it's cool but not really. It means the Dolph Ziggler Cena feuds, or that what they were pushing on Total Divas, which is this whole Dolph is still in love with Nikki Bella. Whether that's true or not doesn't matter. Anybody know Dolph Ziggler used to date Amy Schumer, the new comedy female, or the new white comedy female? Yeah, that was a thing that happened. Amy Schumer's okay. I think she's cute enough. But so Dolph super kicks Cena. So it looks like maybe Dolph might be the one taking the U.S. title, which I think is awesome. Something for Dolph to do and not be a complete waste of space, and maybe they'll actually make him a decent heel. But the only thing I'm going to say about that, if they want Dolph to have that U.S. title, he's got to cut that damn hair. I swear to God, if I look at the reject freaking Billy Gunn and Shawn Michaels reject Love Child, I swear to God, he needs to cut the hair back to short like he was when he was doing the whole dating Vicky thing. Because it's just, he looks so dumb. I think short hair for him as a heel works perfectly. He doesn't need to not have it be blonde anymore. He just needs it to be short. That's just my own personal opinion. Dolph accidentally super kicks Cena, so they both, and then of course New Day beats him down. They both have to get the save by the Dudleys, but no. What you think is it's going to be the Dudleys who come in with Dolph and Cena, and they dispatch Street Justice. No. The New Day actually wind up, the numbers game works on the Dudleys, and they beat the Dudleys down. They hit Bubba Ray with 2 Troubles in Paradises, and they do the top rope DDT. It's not top rope. Xavier Woods jumps off the top rope or the second rope and delivers a DDT while Big E delivers like a face buster. It's Big E's finisher mixed with a DDT, and on Devon, and they knock everybody out, and they walk out standing tall. And the only thing that could have made it better is if Big E had actually won the United States title, and then they all just took turns wearing it, because that would just be cool, because New Day, and they're really on point with, even this in the beginning parts where they were 100% serious, carrying Dolph Ziggler's half-conscious body, talking about, what did you mean about being serious, Cena, because we're taking this serious. Even in a promo where they were like, yo, we're taking this serious, so serious we're getting Big E in this match, they still managed to still be funny. They made a reference to blow pops, or Tootsie Pops, where they do, if anyone's seen the commercial with the owl, who's like, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop, and the owl goes 1, 2, 3, and then bites it. They actually count like that when they are counting up to the introduction of Big E into the match. Kofi does that, which I thought was funny. So yeah, interesting. And to Raw, we have Big E, or not Big E, the New Day standing tall, having beat Dolph, Cena, and the Dudleys, which will more than likely lead to, in my own opinion, will more than likely lead to New Day and Rusev versus the Dudleys, Dolph, and Cena next week. It probably in the main event, with possibly even Dolph. This being Dolph's heel turn, or at least the beginning of a gradual heel turn. So it was a mediocre Raw with an interesting, not even mediocre, crappy Raw with an interesting ending. I'm curious to see what they may be doing with Dolph. I mean, by next week, we'll know whether or not they're doing anything with him, because the writing's been on the wall for a while now. But we're gonna see if they decide to pull the trigger. But yeah, overall, Dolph Ziggler's heel turn is or possible heel turn is relatively interesting to me. So yeah, I want to see where that goes. But yeah, so join me in the next one. Next week we'll be talking about Raw. Hopefully I'm not too disgusted with having watched it to actually do a review. And leave a like, a dislike, a comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.